Hi, welcome to the video. My name is Janelle and today I've got a fun little project. This is something that's really cute and works up super fast and it's fairly beginner friendly too. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make these scrunchies, and they're a double scrunchie, so it's got two ruffles. All you're going to need for supplies for this is an elastic band. And I'm using fairly thick ones and they're flat. If you have round ones, that should work just fine too. I would suggest a thicker one though, just so that you have something more substantial as a base. You'll need scissors of some sort. I just have little embroidery scissors, but any scissors will work. A crochet hook, and I'm using a 3mm for this. A needle that you can use to weave in the ends of your yarn. And then of course your yarn. And I would suggest using either a worsted weight or a bulky weight. And my suggestion would also be to use either a chenille or a blanket yarn. The one that I used for this pink scrunchie is Bernat Velvet, which is a bulky weight and it's super soft and just looks really plush and fuzzy. For demonstration purposes though, I'm just going to use a regular acrylic worsted weight yarn just because these chenille type yarns are so fuzzy it makes it difficult to see the stitches. So just so that you can see better what I'm doing, I'm going to be using regular standard yarn. And then in terms of stitches, all you really need to know is slip stitch, chain, and double crochet. Because these are such a quick and easy project to do up, they make great last minute gifts. And if you make products to sell at craft sales, they're also great for that because you can do up a bunch really quickly. Okay, so let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so to get started, you're gonna need your elastic, your crochet hook, and your yarn. And I'm gonna start by taking my elastic and putting my crochet hook through it, grabbing my yarn with the crochet hook, pulling it through, and then I'm going to wrap both the working end and the tail of my yarn around my crochet hook and pulling that through the loop, and then just tighten that up a bit. And then I'm going to drop the tail of my yarn and just use the working end, and I'm going to chain 3. And then from there, I'm going to do a double crochet around the elastic. And then chain 1. And I'm just going to repeat that all the way around until I have 30 double crochet, counting the first couple of chains as a double crochet. So it's just going to be double crochet, chain, all the way around until I have 30 stitches. So again, double crochet, chain, and then just keep repeating that pattern. And if your elastic gets a bit twisted in the process, that's not a big deal. You can straighten it out after. So I have my 30 stitches done, and I'm just gonna stretch this out a little bit to try to untwist my elastic here. So once you have your 30 stitches, then you can just slip into the first chains that you made, just to connect everything together. And if you have gaps that show the elastic at this point, that's totally fine because we will be adding more stitches later. So then for the second row, I'm going to start off by doing chain 2 which will count as our first double crochet. And then I'm going to do 2 double crochet in the first chain space here. And then from there, I'm going to go around and do 3 double crochet in every chain space. So I'm going to end up with 90 stitches by the end of the row. So then once you've made it all the way around, all you need to do is just slip through that first chain 2 and then trim off the end of your yarn and pull it through. So that's the first half done. And now what we're going to do is flip it over so that we have the back facing up. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did to start out with. So I'm starting at approximately the same spot that I started the other half. And I'm just going to go through the elastic. Same thing, grab the end of my yarn and pull it through. And then grab both ends and slip. And then again, drop the tail and just use the working end of the yarn to chain 3. And then what we're going to do is work our way around the elastic again, but for each double crochet, we're going to skip over one of the stitches from the part that we've just done. So I've got my chain to act as my first double crochet. I'm going to skip a stitch here, so just move that over, and then in the space beside that, I'm going to do a double crochet. And then a chain. And then again, just move over one of the stitches, and in the next space, do a double crochet and a chain, and just work your way around until you reach the end. So again, you should have 30 double crochet, including the first chain 3 as a double crochet. And again, just like we did on the other side, once you get around to the beginning of your row again, you can just slip into your first stitch to finish off that row. And I'm going to just repeat what I did on the other side now for the second row. Do chain 2 to start out with, and then 2 double crochet in the first chain space, and then 3 double crochet in every chain space around, and you'll end up with 90 stitches. When you get back to the beginning of your row, all you need to do again is just slip through the first stitch, trim off your yarn, and then slip that through. And then you're essentially done. You just stretch it out a little bit to even out the stitches. And then the only step that's left is to weave in the ends. So you can just take the ends of your yarn and put it on your needle. run that through a few stitches. And then just trim off the end. So you can do that for all 4 ends, and that's it, you're done. I hope you enjoyed this project. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know who you're going to make this for. Are you going to make them for yourself, for a friend? I will also leave my socials down in the description below. So if you make this project, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see how it turns out. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to the channel. I would love for you to stick around. I make lots of fun project videos as well as beginner tutorials. And as of recording this video, I am just shy of 400 subscribers. I would love to hit 500 so that I can start using the community tab and have the opportunity to connect more with those of you who watch my videos. So if you haven't already, please help me out and hit that subscribe button below. If you want to check out more of my videos, I will leave a couple right here that you can click on. But with that, I will wrap things up and just say thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye.